I mean, it is about time, right? I've not done a single custom tactics video this whole year, so it's about time we make it happen. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the custom tactics that I use for essentially every single one of my player reviews. As well as that, I'm also going to speak a little bit about my favorite play styles for each position, and I'll run you through my camera settings and controller settings. So let's go. If you need FC24 coins for Team of the Season, there's one place you should go, MMOEXP.com. Link is in my description, and make sure to use my code Morsey at checkout to save yourself 5% off your order. So let's kick things off with the team that I'm currently running in FC24. This is it in all of its glory. Yes, my pack luck has been absolutely insane. And the formation that I run basically 95% of the time I'm playing FC24 in all my play reviews is the 4-3-2-1. And this is how we line up in game. A back four of Theo Hernandez, Ronald, Rudiger and Lucas Vazquez. Valverde on the left-hand side of the midfield. Zaire Emery in the middle. Renato on the right. Fakir in that right centre forward role, Mbappe down the middle, and Jarzinho on the left. Now the custom tactics themselves, defensive style, balanced, has to be the way off the bat. Only reason to change into press is if you're desperately in need of a goal, or if you just want to suffocate your opponent for a little bit, see if you can get a breakthrough. In regards to width, we keep it at 44 and depth at 60. Now, depth is at 60 for the reason I don't want to be too high up the pitch, but I don't want to be too deep. I want to be in that middle ground, not so I'm leaving my opponent loads of space to bob in behind, but I've got enough space, a little extra step to kind of maybe outpace him if he goes for the lob ball over the top. But I'm also high enough to push my opponent and force a press if I need to. Now, occasionally I do go up to 71 depth. Essentially what this does is trigger like a mini offside trap. It pushes your defense a lot higher up, of course. And as you can see, it's to basically build pressure on possession teams. So if your opponent's keeping the ball a little bit too much for your liking, up your depth to 71 and you'll notice a little bit of a difference in regards to your players being high at the pitch, almost suffocate your opponent to making a mistake. For build-up play, I keep it unbalanced. I don't think there's really any point in changing this too much. I like having the option to basically do what I feel. I can ping a long ball if I want, I can keep possession, I can hit the wings. It's strictly up to me how I play the game. That's why I like it. The chance creation, I rock direct passing. I think that or forward runs are probably the two most popular. In my opinion, this is it though. It essentially creates a lot of extra movement, like proper AI attacking movement for your forwards, running into space, creating little alleyways for extra passes. And I tell you what, if you watch my gameplay, you will see it. You really do notice the extra movement off the ball from my players, especially if I'm not using player locks. It's just so many options, man. So much variety up there to find the extra pass, to find the goal. Width I keep on 50. It's essentially balanced. Players in the box, I've got 5. I don't want to be overloading this. I don't want to be flooding the box, as I do love a finesse shot or two. So I tend to like to have at least 1 or 2 players sat on the outside just for an option. If my opponent's got a lot of big players like Bissek or Bastoni in the middle, I don't want to pass my way through. I can hit the outside of the box, ping a finesse shot. Corners, 1. Free kicks, 1. I just can't stand getting counter attack from corners. So I've got it on 1. Same with free kicks. I don't really tend to shoot with free kicks. I tend to lay it off anyway. Corners, occasionally I'll whip it in, but I'll probably end up just smashing at the edge of the box and pinging a finesse shot instead. So instructions, we've got 2 centre backs and a goalkeeper. Yes, that's how it works. They're completely unbalanced. Stay back while attacking. I've not changed a single thing. Leave them as they are. Now the fullbacks gets a little bit interesting. Lucas Vazquez is my most attacking fullback here. He is just built for that overlapping, almost right midfield role. So I've got him unbalanced. I'll trigger the run a lot and have him overlapping as much as I can, basically turning into a right midfielder. And whilst Lucas Vazquez is bombing forward like a madman, Theo Hernandez stays back, almost fills in that back three at this stage. Ronald, Rudiger, Theo. I feel like with Theo, I prefer him to stay back because he's definitely more defensive and more physically dominant than a Lucas Vazquez. But also, I like getting forward with the man because he is technical as well. So I've got overlap for him as well. I just think it's just the way. It's my personal preference. I enjoy getting involved with my fullbacks as much as I can. If you're not the biggest fan and you don't want to get caught out too much defensively, just make sure to set these to stay back while attacking and potentially maybe have 1 to overlap. The other, you can leave him completely on mixed attack here. So heading up to the midfield 3, we've got Zaire Emery smack bang in the middle. He's essentially my most defensive option. He's the man who's going to stay in that midfield exactly where I need him to be, breaking up play, causing a bit of madness. So he's on stay back and cover centre. Alongside him, Renato Sanchez. Completely balanced, but also cover centre. I want these two working as standard centre mid, smack bang in the centre of the park, just dominating, dictating play, and getting stuck in. Valverde is completely balanced, but cover wing. I want him a little bit more on the left-hand side, leaving Zaire Emery and Sanchez to roam the midfield by themselves. We've also got Fakir up here on comeback on defence. Now, there's a reason for this, essentially. Valverde's covering the wing, Fakia's come back on defense. It almost defends like a 4-4-2 this formation. We've got Valverde covering the left-hand side, Zaya, Emery, Sanchez in the middle, and Fakia dropping into that kind of like right midfield position. It's really effective, especially when your opponent's trying to bomb forward as much as they can, that your players basically cover as much space as possible, but also ready to pounce for the counter-attack if needed. As well as come back on defense, I've also got Fakir to get in behind because I want him bombing forward, man. Like if we get a counter-attack, say for example he's pushed back, almost like in that midfield, holding it down with Renato Sanchez, we get the ball, we spring a counter-attack, I want Fakir bombing forward as quick as possible. I also like Fakir as the comeback on defense forward, purely because of the finesse shots. He can pick the ball up deep, link up the play, be that playmaker, but also score like a 20-30 yard finesse shot if he needs to. On the other side, Jarzinho is completely balanced but getting behind. He essentially is a joint striker of Mbappe at this stage. Say for example, Fakir's on the ball a little bit deeper, almost in that right midfield position. Jarzinho's making movement alongside Kylian, and it's just a dangerous duo, man. Talking about Kylian, he is stay central, getting behind, and balanced on the other two. I want him in the middle of the park. When I'm attacking, I want to know Kylian Mbappe is where he's going to be centrally, and I can find him, pick a pass, get him on the ball, and then just dominate. He's also getting behind as well. I like that, especially with a player like Mbappe who's pure speed. I mean, he's got a lot more to his game, but the speed element is definitely there. I want him making movement in behind. One through ball, it's game over. So they're the custom tactics that I run in, as I said, essentially like 95% of my player views. Obviously, the players will vary depending on what cards we're trying out, what team I'm rocking. Now, when it comes to playstyles, there's a few that I look for in my team, a few essentials that I need. Technical playstyle plus, one of my favorites for sure. Same with quick step and rapid. I like the ability to pick the ball up with a technical player, control sprint my way through my opponent, also utilize the crazy dribbling, the left stick control, and it's that pure explosive feel on a card. I'm a massive fan of finesse shot. I would definitely recommend having at least one or maybe two finesse shot plus players in your team. This gives you a different like alleyway of getting goals. If your opponent's sitting deep, having a finesse shot plus player just sat on the edge of the box lurking could be dangerous and really, really nice to get in goals. Intercepts huge for the middle of the park, as well as a playstyle I shouldn't have a playstyle plus of in the middle here, but a playstyle I look for in a lot of my middle of the park players is at least base press proven. I think it helps a lot, especially how press heavy the game is these days. Having this is a different thing in your arsenal essentially, especially if you're getting under pressure, you can wiggle out of tricky situations. Fullbacks, whip pass and jockey. They're the two that I want in each fullback. I'm pretty certain we've got at least the jockey and Teo Hernandez, but this one has incisive pass, which is fine with me. Different element, I'm okay with that. But at least jockey plus tends to be what I go for. Essentially, it allows you to react quickly to your opponent if he's out on the wing. If he wants to cut inside and finesse it, jockey plus, we're quick to react to that. Or if you want to kind of usher him down the wing, you could do so quite easily. In the middle of the park, has to be aerial. You need at least one or two aerial plus centre backs at the moment, especially how crazy the aerial dominance is. It's an essential. Now, this is probably one of my most asked questions in my comment section is what camera settings do I run? This is it right here. Tele broadcast is my go-to. I think it might be one of the most popular cameras, and it should be. You get the perfect balance of not too much of the pitch, but just enough. You're not too far out, too zoomed out in like row Z. You can see that what you basically need to see, right? Height, I do have set to 10, and then zoom is also on 0. I'm a big fan of it, trust me. If you like the look of my gameplay, give it a go, you'll enjoy it. Another thing that I do, of course, I have time finishing on. Make sure you have this on. Even if you don't necessarily know how to use it yet, it's something you need to learn. It could be a game changer and allow you to score so many more chances that without it, just would not find the back of the net. For the visuals, I rock the HUD as player name and indicator. Player name, of course. I think it's the way to go over the gamer tags. It's just the final little tweak that I think makes the gameplay just a little bit more immersive. So definitely recommend it. So that's that. My first ever custom tactics video on this game. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do smash a like down below. Subscribe if you're new. On the road to 22k. And also I had a recommendation to upload like full gameplay footage. I do stream over on Twitch, but maybe uploading full like gameplay footage to a second channel could be an option if you truly want to see how I use the custom tactics, the formation, the players. Let me know if you do want to see that, of course. Any content I could produce for you guys, I am so up for doing it. But yeah, let me know your feedback down below. Let me know if you try this and it works for you. I've been Morsey. Subscribe if you're new. Catch you later.